Hello, 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 Nuri here. Welcome to another episode of Love and Deepspace. It's been quite a roller coaster ride, you guys. I thought I was burnt out the entire month, but today I feel the weight of it finally sinking. Today I actually feel extremely depleted. But I need to make this video anyways because I promised not only that I would make weekly videos, and this is the weekend, but I also have certain things that I feel are important to clarify and just talk about in a bit more detail. So I'd like to start with me saying that I don't look men as if they're monsters. I don't look at them like they're some beastly people and they don't deserve games for themselves, or that they don't, or that they shouldn't have their very own lads. My argument was never against them not having their own games. My entire point of what I wanted to say or bring to surface was just that why do they always seem to feel the need to complain the moment a spicy scene from lads just goes viral? Why is it always then? I don't ever hear them talk about it when there's a fluffy banner going on, or it's always during a spicy scene going viral, like Misty Invasion going viral, like Silas from Misty Invasion going viral, or now Zane from The Myth going viral. It's always at these particular times. I don't see them complaining about not having a game like Lads when it's, say, Flower and Spring banner, or, those kind of like really soft, fluffy banners. And I understand, okay, if the society has boxed you, which they have, or that you are not given that kind of softness to express yourself, or the romance that you wish you could, also have or emulate, just like lads have for women, then I'm saying go and make that change. Go and take that initiative. Go demand for those kind of games that give you a really sweet romance, a really good relationship story. Do that. Take that initiative. Ask for that game from the devs, from online gaming forums and other places. But raising that complaint that why do women get to have, or that women have double standards, or that there are double standards because women are allowed to have, is not going to help anyone. We have just one lads. I don't see that also being raised when you have Tears of Themis. I don't see those questions were raised before lads. When Tears of Themis was going on, nobody raised that as, at least in my knowledge and my observations, I've never seen a question being raised towards Tears of Themis, like why do women enjoy Tears of Themis? There was never a question, there was never a situation like that. So for them to raise that right at the point of lads, right when lads came about and started catering to women, is where I have raised the issue, is where the issue lies for me. Because this is not personal. I don't have anything personal against men wanting their own games, because they've had games for themselves for decades. That was my only, issue. If you're going to raise complaints or or call out or call about double standards, then you need to know what roles you also have played. Surely, you deserve a game that honors your softness, that honors romance in the way you would also like. But who do you think needs to take an initiative for that? Women can't take an initiative for you. You have to take an initiative for you, right? Women made demands and got a lads. If you make demands, you'd also get something like lads. So, to point out that women have lads but you don't have lads and it's so unfair is, I can't find sense in that. Again, I'm not here to point out competition or point out that I hate men getting a game for themselves, because it's absurd. It's absurd for me to think that way as well. I'm not pointing out that men shouldn't have games that honor their romance or softness or whatever. Have games, but ask for an initiative for yourself instead of like constantly pointing at women. Women just had one lads. So, also there's also this notion that, society made it difficult for men to have those kind of games. But who is the society running? Who is running the society? On whose rules is the society running? Isn't that men who decided the rules? I want them to take the initiative, change the rules, so that women also can benefit from that. So we don't get boxed as well. It's true that if women want combat games, there are tons of games, because there are games for men, and women, kind of low-key have to sneak themselves in those combat games, like say Valorant and those kind of games. They're not like specific combat games for women only. LAS just happens to be a combat game on the side, but it is an otome game first and foremost, right? So the society that, men complain about not letting them have softer games is a society they've built. And if anything, they should be first and foremost at the front to dismantle that and demand for softer games that honor their softness or romance or whatever they want to have. So that is the only, this or just like the last video wouldn't even exist if there wasn't already an outcry about why are women allowed to have. I wouldn't even need, like, what do I have to gain from this personally? It's nothing but more emotional burden for me to make essay videos on this. I don't even want to make it. And this is not going to end here. I am sick and tired of this topic. I don't want competition. I'm not here to prove that women are better or, that we need more games than men or some kind of like a weird competition. I could care less about the games that men want or are playing for themselves. That's not my job. That's not my, criteria or area or whatever. It's not my thing to deal with. I'm only pointing out the systemic unfairness, the hypocrisy. That's it. That's all I'm pointing out. I'm not saying that men shouldn't have their games. I'm saying this is the situation. They shouldn't be crying foul when We just have one game that we're barely playing, that we're barely getting something out of. And every single time there's a spicy banner too. Which, by the way, is once in a while we get a spicy banner. Once in a while. We don't get spicy banners like every other, you know, every other month. We get them like, what, once in 6 months? I don't even think we've gotten them once in 6 months, at least this year. At least last year there was Misty Invasion and Nightly Rendezvous, but this year I can barely think of anything. I don't think Catch 22 is a spicy banner either. So that is the only thing I'm trying to point out. But honestly, it's not worth the toll. It's not worth coming here and trying to put light, because this is not going to end. We have, like, this situation happened here right now, and as we progress further, as there'll be more, kind of spicy banners coming forth, this is going to get uglier. More and more men are going to be crying foul about it, or there might be more and more men raising objections about it. And honestly, I don't intend to make any more videos on this topic. This is I think we've reached a limit into this. And you guys decide. You guys decide if whatever I've said is right or wrong. I leave that to you. I don't intend to make any more videos on this situation. Next, I'd like to talk about the whole gooner game tag. I have two conflicting opinions all at the same time. One is that, oh, it's a gooner game, yeah, so what? So what? Let it be. But then at the same time, I'm also thinking, isn't that an oversimplification of the whole gooner game tag? It's not an 18, I mean, it is an 18 plus game, but it's not like a complete sexual game. It has story, a whole story, relationship, development, all of that. So, and then sprinkles of intimacy here and there and spice, where we're lumping it all together under the gooner game tag, where it's not necessarily even complete gooner game. And the whole tag came about only because of the tracker. Before the tracker, it wasn't a gooner game. The tracker became so infamous that men made it, and then men again, because I didn't see women making it into a gooner game until men were like, gooner game, gooner game, gooner game, after the tracker came into existence. So the tracker itself was what created the whole gooner game label. Before that, it wasn't so. So in my opinion, I have these two conflicting, statements, and I feel like both exist in certain ways. Like, there doesn't have to be this needs to exist or that needs to exist. Both can exist simultaneously. Yeah, so that's all I have to say. I don't really have much to add except these things. And I wanted to see this dress, but well, I'll have to wait until 10 days then. Anyhow, yeah, my diamond count is so low. I hate seeing this. As in, I hate seeing my diamond count being like this low, even after an RM pass. Infold needs to be more generous to me and to other people. Not to start another war, please spare me, but no matter what, Infold needs to be generous to me. Me only. Okay, if you have enough money to afford, I will take the diamonds info decides to give. But just I want info to be generous to me. Anyhow, I think last thing I want to say is that good news. Honkai Star Rail, I don't have to come up with a second account for that. The new update has allowed people to replay the past quests. That means I can take you on a journey, hopefully without the burden of opening another account. Thank God, because I was just not in the space to have another account. I think it's just too burdensome. But yeah, anyways, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next week. This is Nori signing off. Bye bye, you guys.